Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Psalm 150 Talk Show. My name is John, aka The Blind Fury, and you can find me at www.theblindfury.com. Now, if you want a chance to be on this show, all you have to do is go to my website, click on the Psalm 150 Talk Show, pick out the artist that you want to talk to, and then join us on the date and time appointed. That's all there is to it. If you have any questions, drop us an email at psalm150@theblindfury.com. Thank you for joining us and enjoy the show.
Okay.
Janice Sweet.
Are we in, Maria?
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
we are. And the Stryper fanatics celebrate across the world.
Okay. Now we're where we should have been at the very beginning.
Yeah, so everybody,
Hey,
what an
hi
honor.
guys. Thank you for waiting.
So
You guys waited so long.
they love you, Janice.
Well, I love them too.
So let's go
see
ahead.
who all's here. Antoinette,
Hello.
Christina, or Teeny,
Yes, dear.
Patrick, Rock Princess, Michelle, Nancy.
Hi, Mama.
Nancy, that's what you look like, honey. I don't think I've ever seen your face. And there's Cameron and Evan and Holly. Hi, Holly.
Hi.
Matt and Sherry.
Hi.
And David. Hi, guys.
Hey, Mama Sweet.
Do you guys have any questions?
What Janice? What we'll do, Janice, is we'll go around and we'll call them out for you, so it stays more.
One at a time.
Yeah, and that way
I'm anxious to answer questions.
Yeah. Well, we are so happy to have you. If I could have everybody mute out again for me, just to make sure there's no feedback, and that way we can get this going. So
I don't hear any feedback on this end.
yeah, if there's a lot of movement with people and several people unmuted, it'll start to kick in. I've heard it before. So you guys, we have a lot of people in here. We're going to try to do it like this first. Just say you're ready to ask a question or whatever, and jump right in and be respectful of everybody else.
Can you turn up your volume a little, John?
Mine? Let's see.
Yeah,
here.
please.
I just have to set up closer. How's that?
Not much better.
Okay.
Your
It's like you've
volume
been
might
around
be
a band or something.
That's a little better. Thank
Yeah,
you.
it's like you've been around a band or something, telling people to turn up the vocals.
Uh-huh.
I want to hear the singer. Okay. So everybody, we're just going to let you jump in. Just, like I said, first round, make it a minute or two so everybody else has a chance. And then we'll just go. So first up, somebody take off and ask this lovely lady a question or give her a comment.
Hey, Ma, it's Marcia.
Hi, Marcia.
Hi, sweetheart.
Honey, I haven't seen you since Fonseca days.
Yep, exactly. Living
Well,
in the
ask
house
me
with
your
spaghetti.
question, honey. I'm so full of anxiety right now. All of this stuff that was going on.
Take a deep breath. We waited for you.
Thank
You're
you,
worth it.
honey.
I miss you, Mom. I really do. When's your book coming out?
I don't know. I ran into a stone. It's going to come out, but what I have to do is get it out of my computer and put it in another one.
I talked to Paula's husband the other day, and he wants one too.
Who's Paula?
Paula. You know Paula and Eric, Paula?
Oh, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Are you serious?
Yes.
That Paula? My
Paula
goodness,
died.
you're in touch with her. That's been years.
No, she passed away a year and a half ago.
Oh my goodness.
We lost her in July.
I'm so sorry to hear that.
Yeah. Yep. July
Okay.
22nd, 2019, we lost her.
Okay. Who
Yeah,
has another question?
I love it. I get to
Anybody?
relax tonight.
I see Scott.
Hi, Mom.
Hi, how are you, Mr.
Hey,
Lanini?
I'll be in your neck of the woods in just under 2 months. Are we gonna go have lunch again?
Well, sure.
Okay, I'll let Lisa know.
Especially if you're buying.
You know I always buy.
We're all coming.
Are you
No,
all
whoa,
gonna
whoa,
come?
whoa, whoa.
I see Sherry and I see Stephanie. And hi, Stephanie, honey. How are you doing? I can't hear you, babe. You're muted.
All right, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now.
I have to unmute myself.
Yes, I know about that. I had to download programs and everything because we were supposed to do it on this computer, and then I tried to do it on my phone. I ran into problems, but I did everything I was supposed to do. Okay, so does anybody have a question?
I have a fantastic question. Well, I mean, it's fantastic for me anyway, Janice. It's good to talk to you this evening. But being in a band in our local area here, the northeastern Kentucky part, there are so many sharks in the water, even in the Christian side of the music. I'm wondering what it really takes to find decent management for a group.
Good luck, honey. Good luck.
I was afraid of that answer.
It takes a lot of prayer and some good luck, because the music business has gone, and if there's no money for people to be made, then the only people that are going to do anything are the sharks, like you were talking about. They're gonna sign people to contracts, and they're going to be people that most of them don't know what they're doing when it comes to management. A lot of people want to be managers, but it doesn't mean that they're qualified.
Right.
A lot of people don't know the first thing to do if you're a manager.
That's what we keep on finding out. And we keep getting sent a bunch of just horrible contracts. And it's just really.
Oh, honey, how many contracts have you signed?
Oh, we haven't signed any. That's the thing. We're smart about this. We read, and then we have attorneys look at them, and then we reread.
And then they say don't sign.
Yeah.
Well, do you really need a manager right now?
In our area of the yeah, we've taken it as far as we can. And in our area, like we are such a in such a bubble, I guess you could say, in our area of the world here.
Yeah.
So it's hard to break out anyway.
Well, I hate to tell you, but you're probably not going to be able to ever get decent management unless if you put out a CD that gets on the charts.
Gotcha.
Then you need to get somebody that's experienced that's managing somebody that's got a little bit of a name.
Right.
And not a beginner. Because if a manager starts out with an artist on the bottom level and they're not able to grow with the artist as the artist grows, you're wasting your time.
Got it.
Okay.
Yes. Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
You're welcome. Any more questions?
Yeah, from Germany.
We'll do Germany first, and then whoever spoke in right after that.
Whoever jumps in.
Go ahead,
Okay,
Lucas.
take the lady first. I'm second.
Aw. Hi, Mama Sweet. It's Michelle. How are you?
Hi, tall and dark and a handful.
I'm not a handful. It's not me. This is Michelle, the rock princess.
I know who you are. I saw
I
the
know.
yellow outline around your name.
Oh, how funny. I'm looking at you on the bigger screen. Actually, I didn't have a question for you, but I want to let everyone know Mama Sweet's got a birthday coming up.
Oh, I do. When I get my birthdays now, I acknowledge that I have a birthday, but I forget the year. I just sweep the birthday under the carpet. I celebrate it, but I just don't say how old I am.
You don't have
I
to.
know.
And that helps me.
I know.
Like I told you the other night, Marcus says he's leveling up like on a game or something instead of getting older.
Yeah.
All
Well,
right.
so-
Love you.
Is everybody having a nice Sunday?
Yes.
Yes.
Lucas,
Yeah,
Okay.
this is our friend Lucas from Germany. He is the show's mascot.
hello, Janice.
Who is that? I don't see anybody that's, oh, I'm the only one talking. Maybe I need to shut up.
Lucas doesn't have his camera on. It's in the middle of the night there.
Hey, this is fun.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to start doing more of these.
But you're always welcome back, Janice. You just let me know.
Well, will you,
She doesn't
will
want to
you
have these
make sure
problems
that I
again.
get on next time. This is a trial run, right? Next time
That's right.
it's a lot easier, right?
That's right. That's right.
That's right. Okay.
Okay, Lucas, take off, buddy.
Yeah, I wanted to. Hello, Janice from Germany. I wanted to ask, how long have you been managing your son, Michael?
I'm sorry. What did I didn't understand after?
How
Oh,
long have
okay.
you been? Go
I
ahead,
try
Lucas.
again. I wanted to know, for how many years have you been managing your son, Michael?
It's 1980.
How many years did I manage my son, Michael? Is that what you
Yeah.
asked me?
Yes, that is my question.
I never managed Michael as a solo artist. I managed Stryper from
Yeah.
1984 to 1992.
Okay.
That was when Michael went solo and left the band. Oh, it was about that time. And it was also when they moved to Massachusetts. No, I take that back. They stayed a while. It was, I don't know the exact year because, and I'll tell you why. Because I decided that I was going to step down as manager. Robert and I had a talk about it. And we called Stephen Ashley to tell him, and Ashley said, we need to have a meeting with the band, the full band, and tell them that you're going to step down as manager. We did that. But the problem was the band did not find a manager for another year and a half. And in the meantime, when Michael was ready to go solo with the first bunch of musicians that he was working with, they went and rented a warehouse in Brea, California, because it's my understanding that they had a whole warehouse full of equipment, but they had no place to put it. So we had offices and a warehouse there. And what we were doing, it was the only 2 employees that were left. I was not an employee, but I stayed. But the only employee was actually Lisa, my daughter, at that time. We were still getting tons of mail. We were getting merchandise orders through the mail. Plus, we had to begin dismantling Stryper. And I'm going to tell you, that was a big job. Dismantling Stryper actually took 2 years.
Okay.
Wow.
Because they weren't active, they weren't doing anything. So we had to get rid of all the equipment. We had to sell out all the merchandise. We still had to answer letters. And we still had that warehouse that we had to pay rent and pay the utilities and everything, and had to pay Lisa's salary. So I had to generate money for that through the merchandise orders. That's how I did it. The mail-in merchandise orders. So I guess I answered your question. I didn't mean to get in such a long discourse there. But
Yeah.
I never managed Michael as I believe his first manager when he left the band was named Randy. Randy Lovelady, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
He was a very nice guy. Very nice.
Okay. Great. Because I have heard of Stryper, but I actually began to listen to Michael's solo album in 1994. This was a very famous album for him. And I really began to like this album a lot. Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you did like it a lot, but I can't understand every word you're saying. Maybe it's because I'm just old.
Oh, and maybe it's because my English is a little bit Germanized. Maybe.
Oh, in those days, Michael was, he had a lot that he was dealing with. He was a new father. Him and Kyle were preparing to move to Massachusetts. He had just gone solo. That was before I believe that was prior to him being diagnosed with the things that he deals with. But he just had a lot going on in his life, and he still does. Michael is very, very active, and I worry about him.
What Mom, what year did Mike join Boston?
I don't know. I know. I remember going to a concert up here and seeing him with Boston, but I'll be darned if I remember what year it was.
Wasn't he with Boston when Kyle passed?
I think he was in Boston either 2 or 3 years. Boston. No, he only did one tour with Boston. Boston would stay home 1 year, and the next year they would tour. And so he was there with them for 2 years.
Okay. He was with Boston when we lost Kyle, right?
He was what?
With Boston when Kyle passed.
No, I don't believe so. I could be wrong. Don't quote me on that, but I don't believe so. I know that when she was very ill, he did go out on tour with Boston.
Right.
And she wanted him to go because she thought it was a wonderful opportunity for him and that he should do that. But then I do know that when he came home, she was very ill, and he was helping her a lot by carrying her, whenever she had to go to the bathroom. Most of her time was spent on the couch.
See, Kyle's just what I knew.
She just degenerated. Go in there, please. She just slowly went downhill. Well, she was diagnosed with stage 4 ovarian cancer.
Oh, wow.
When they first opened her up, she was full of fluid, and she had tumors that had attached themselves up to the diaphragm.
Wow.
And it was very advanced. So right from the beginning, it was bad news. And Mike did everything that he could. And I'm sure he went through a lot. And she went through a lot. And Lena, I remember the panic that Lena suffered the night that Kyle passed away, and they took her in the ambulance to the hospital.
You're kidding.
Lena was very, I think she knew what was happening, but I'm not sure that they told the kids much in advance what was going on.
Was Lena in Boston with them?
They didn't live in Boston. They lived in a town called Buzzards Bay.
Yeah, where they had the campgrounds.
That's where Kyle grew up, and her mother.
I was wondering that. Okay.
Her mother had the camp, and her father. They had it as a joint venture, and Kyle's brother. They had it as a. The kids grew up on the campground with the lake, the man-made lake on 5 acres, and the cranberry bogs. And a lot of people in Kyle's family got cancer, and I think it came from the cranberry bogs.
Oh, wow.
Because they were full of insecticides.
I met Kyle in La Mirada just after little Mikey was born. How did Mike meet her? Because that was after when I was married and Mike was off. And
yeah.
All right.
Does little Michael have his band still?
I'm sorry.
Is little Michael still doing, Mikey, is he still doing music? Is he still got a band? Because he was good.
Off and on, it depends. Right now, he's got 3 young children that he's dealing
Wow.
with, and he's working. And he just he was in a band, as you got, a lot of you guys know. His band did go out and open for Stryper on a tour.
Yeah, I was at that one.
Michael is the one that arranged that, because he took the kids with him out on tour because he didn't want to. Kyle had passed away.
Yeah.
And he didn't want to leave them at home.
Yeah.
So he took Lena, he put Lena in charge of selling merchandise, and she had to learn the different monies for all the foreign countries and everything, and the exchange rate and everything. And then Mikey's band, when they found out they were going to open, they went into rehearsal, and they rehearsed for like 6 to 8 weeks.
Whoa.
Well, it's intensive. I mean, when Stryper goes in pre-production for tour, it's hard work. They usually do it at least 2 or 3 weeks, at least, even though they've done it a gazillion times. And they have all kinds of things going on. They have costumes being made. They have photo sessions going. They have merchandise being made. They have road crew to pick out. They have everything, you know, what their stage is going to look like, what they need to have prepared to they have so many irons in the fire. It's not even funny. I would always breathe a sigh of relief when I could put them on the bus and say bye. Because there was so much work. And back in those days, the band was a lot bigger. They were playing huge arenas and big venues. Their crew was triple or quadruple what it is now. And there was a lot of stuff going on.
I'm sure most of us here have seen them. So let's move on to someone else to be able to get in here and talk to Miss Janice here. Somebody unmute.
I have a question.
Yeah, there you go.
I was just wondering, Janice, was the contract really complicated? Because in Michael's book, he says that Robert Sweet saw that there was a $1 million bill from his record company, and that's why they broke up for a little bit.
What?
In Michael's book, he stated that his brother Robert got a $1 million bill from the record company, and that blew Robert away, and that was one of the reasons why they broke up.
No, I don't know. I don't know where that came from. No, I never remember reading that in Michael's book. I do know that they overextended themselves financially when they recorded In God We Trust. They spent a lot of money. They spent like $450,000 to record that. It was overproduced. That CD was overproduced. And Michael regretted that because he wasn't the only one making decisions, but they all regretted that. I don't know where that $1 million thing came from. Where did you hear that at? That came out of Michael's book?
Yeah, I thought I read that in there.
No. No.
And also, the first 2 albums sound a lot different after that. Did your recording techniques change a lot after the Stryper's second album? They just sound a lot different to me. Like the first 2 albums sound a lot different than all their albums after that.
The first 2 albums sound a lot different than other albums after that. Well, that's kind of normal. Because when a band first starts out, they don't have a huge recording fund. See, the way it works is the record company gives the band so much money to record a CD with or a product with. And they can use all of it if they want for recording, or they can use part of it and then put the rest of it in their pockets, but it's a recoupable advance. It has to be paid back. So,
Can I ask,
but as they put out product and they sell it, their recording funds get bigger and bigger if they chart and they're selling more and more product.
can I ask who did most of the solos in Makes Me Want to Sing? That's my favorite song.
Yeah, that's great.
Was that Michael or Oz, can you say?
Were they what?
Like, who did the solos in that song, Makes Me Want to Sing?
Who did this? What solos?
The guitar solos.
Well, it's always been Michael and Oz. Always.
Oh, they both played the same notes?
No. The way it works is when Michael writes the songs, he does all of the arrangements for the songs. He figures out all of the music. He figures out the guitar solos, teaches them to Ozzy. And most of the time it's both of them playing. Once in a while it's just Ozzy, but that's kind of rare. Most of the time it's both of them playing together at the same time.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hi, Mama.
Hello.
I am so excited to see you. I haven't seen you in forever. It's so good to see you.
Well, I'm excited to see you too.
I'm back in Tennessee now.
I know.
And my dad's 30 minutes away from me, so that's good.
That's good.
And Mom still lives in the UK, of course, but I moved back, and I'm so excited to see you. I'm just overwhelmed with happiness to see you because it's been forever.
I know. Well, I guess I'm going to start doing more of these kind of things because, you know, technology kind of requires it now.
Yeah.
You have to, and especially with what the music business has been through in the past year.
Yeah.
They need more. People are going to have to start focusing more on the music business, or it's just not going to, it's not going to stay around. We won't have a music business.
Yeah.
The only people that are doing well are the superstars. They're the ones that are doing well.
Yeah. But
all of the people on the lower echelon, they're suffering. They're just totally suffering. But God has provided, so that we have to thank the Lord for that.
All right. Who's next?
Is that
Janice.
it?
Hi, Janice.
Hi, is this Stephanie?
Yes.
How are you doing, honey?
I'm doing okay, as best as
Good.
possible.
It's a day at a time, isn't it?
You know it. Hopefully someday I'll be able to come back out to Vegas to visit you again.
Can you guys hear these people in the background making all that noise?
A little bit. It's
Should
not,
I get up and shut the door?
it's not that big of a deal.
It's not that bad?
No,
Okay.
can't really hear them that well.
They get carried away and they have no common sense. They don't seem to realize that I'm in here talking to you guys, to all you guys.
Oh.
Yeah, it's not that loud. So, Stephanie,
Okay.
are you finished?
Okay.
Yeah, I just wanted to say
Okay.
hello. It's good to see Janice. I got to tell you something. Thank God for Zoom. This is fantastic.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I can't wait for the days when I can start going to concerts again.
Oh,
Mhm.
yes.
And it's not just Stryper, it's anybody. I mean, there are, we live in Las Vegas, so there are a few clubs that have live music,
Oh, that's wonderful.
but it's not very often. It's not a lot. Nobody's performing a lot. But in other states, sometimes they are. It just depends on the governor and what they're doing in that particular state.
Mhm. Now, somebody. Oh, go ahead.
I just can't wait to get out and hear some
I can't wait
good
to
live
start-
music.
I can't wait to do the meet and greets and everything again and see the
Oh,
guys
me
in
either.
person.
Me either.
So somebody spoke up right when Stephanie did. Whoever that was, you can go ahead now.
Who is it?
I don't know, but somebody spoke in at the same exact time. So whoever that was, go ahead and try it again.
Yeah, go ahead and try. It's just me as far
If
as
no
I
one has a question, I got another question.
Okay.
Like I've noticed a lot of Christian bands like Newsboys, Petra, they change members a lot. Is it difficult? Is it very difficult for Christian rock bands just to earn a living?
You better believe it. It always has been. That's why, you know, in the early days of the beginning of all these Christian rock bands, I mean, they were doing all kinds of things like traveling in a van, and they would go appear at churches, and people would invite them to stay at their homes, and they would feed them and let them sleep there. That's the kind of things that they had to go through to get out there. And now Stryper never had to go that route. And I've always felt that they were blessed for that, and they crossed over. In other words, they were able to chart on the national charts instead of just the Christian charts, and that opened up a lot of opportunities for them. And Enigma Records, they hired a lot of people. They were doing so much promotion on Stryper. They sold, in the beginning, they had Motley Crue, they had Berlin, and a few other bands, and they sold those people and took the money and invested it in their record label. But it's very difficult for an independent record label to become a major. It's almost impossible. That's why the majors continue to exist, and when they start losing money, they sell out to somebody else. But
I thank God for Frontiers.
Yeah, Frontiers is one of the few labels right now that's putting out 80s metal bands.
I think it's wonderful.
Yeah, they're keeping it alive. But the big drawback about them is that they're over in Italy.
I know how to go all the way to Italy for that. It's all, you know.
Yeah.
Couldn't do it through an American record label. You know, go all the way to Italy. Well, I guess you got to do what you got to do.
I honestly, I'm not in the business right now, but I don't know of any American rock record labels that are putting people out, that are releasing 80s metal bands. Unless if you're somebody like Motley Crue, you know, and you've got the next tour sold out 2 years in advance or whatever. You know, then somebody's going to put your product out. But otherwise, it's rough. It's real rough. It's always been rough for Christian bands, always.
This is all extremely heartbreaking for an independent artist.
Well, it's just.
And we still have to travel around and sleep. And there are still families that bring us in and let us sleep on their couches.
I don't want to discourage you, but it is rough. It was rough. I remember when Stryper filmed Free in Seattle, Washington, and Bloodgood opened for them. And Bloodgood, at that time, they were having kind of a hard time, you know. And but they did form a friendship with the guys in the band, and later down the line, Ozzy ended up working with them. But all of these Christian metal bands, they've struggled. A lot of them are not even doing anything. You know, there's nothing for them to do unless if they. Can you shut that door, please, honey? I knew those guys were going to forget.
Did you say Ozzy Osbourne?
Huh?
You mean Ozzy Osbourne?
Do I know him?
I heard
No, she was talking
Ozzy.
about Oz Fox, the guitarist for Stryper.
Oh, I thought you said Ozzy.
That's her nickname for him.
Oh.
And what is the latest? Is that what you're asking me?
No, I just thought you said Ozzy Osbourne. I'm like, oh, you were with Ozzy Osbourne? That's
Well,
cool.
Ozzy, when he was in high school, he used to listen to Ozzy Osbourne all the time. And everybody called him Oz because of that. And that nickname kind of stuck. His real name is Richard. But every once in a while, he would bring Robert and Michael home because his dad had an upholstery shop that was right down the street, pretty much from where we live, maybe 2 or 3 blocks. So he would go there and he would drop Robert and Michael off, and they would all listen to Ozzy Osbourne in the truck going to the upholstery shop. That's what I was trying to say. And it was just a fun time for them. They all loved rock music. Robert would dress up and go to Van Halen concerts, and Michael, he was still a little young for that, but he would go out and play with the neighborhood kids and skateboard and do bratty stuff.
All right, who's next up? We have several people in here that haven't spoken, so who's up?
Hi, Mama. Hi, Mama.
Hi, honey.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, speak up just a little.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you, but I could hear you better if you speak up just a little bit.
I don't know. His mic might be off.
No, we can hear you pretty decent.
I can hear you, honey.
Okay. I'm just so excited to see you again. And my mom saw your picture and she said, she wasn't what I pictured. She's an awesome looking granny. She thought you were awesome looking.
I hear that a lot.
She says the music is what's keeping you young.
Oh, I definitely agree.
And it does.
I think music lovers, they all stay young in their mind. And if you stay young in your mind, you're going to stay young in your body.
Yeah, I mean, to me, the music is, I don't know, universal. It just brings everybody together.
It is. Everybody can relate, and it's a gift. It's a gift to us. Yep. It's a gift to us to encourage us and keep us going.
I mean, I play piano and clarinet. I'd love to learn other instruments as much as I could, but well, but yeah, I miss seeing you too and giving you a hug. Last time I saw you was in
what, 3 years ago?
Gas Monkey.
3 years ago? Yeah, here in Las Vegas, right?
No, we were at Gas Monkey in Texas.
Oh,
with
yeah.
Scott and Kenneth and all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a blast.
Yeah, I know that was fun.
Yes,
there was a lot of people there that night.
Yeah, it was a great.
Do you know that place is no longer there?
Really?
It was a good venue for rock exposure, but because of COVID, it's now gone.
Oh my gosh!
I'm sure there's a lot of places that were good venues that are gone, or concert promoters that like to promote rock music, and they're no longer in business.
Yeah.
This thing has been really harmful to the music business.
Yeah.
Sad.
Let's hope that we can go and bang our heads in the future.
Yeah, I'm ready.
You know?
My best night was when I came to Vegas and met you the first time, and your daughter, and she took me back there in the back room with all you guys, and you got after Lisa
that was fun.
And I. You got after Lisa and I.
That was fun. That
we
was
had a
great
blast.
Fun. I miss those times.
Yes. Ready for rockin'. Ready to meet Stephanie sometime too.
I see Scott is back on.
Yeah, where you at, dude?
What? It looks like you're in the garage.
I'm right here.
How are you doing?
I'm just remembering what Holly said about Gas Monkey. That was the last time I saw Holly.
I know.
And the time she went backstage, I was there too, and I'm wondering why I didn't get invited back because I was at that show
Well,
too.
we just flatly let you out of it.
I noticed that.
I was special.
No, you had gone off somewhere and we couldn't find you. So we just
don't
went
give me
ahead and
that.
did our thing.
No. You're not going to get away with that.
Oh, yes, I can.
I was there the whole time.
Hey, Janice, is this somebody I have to escort out of the room for you?
You got to stay with the people that you can go with.
I know.
You can't wander off.
I hang out with Lisa, Maria. No, it was good. Don't give me a
Yeah.
hard time.
Maria was here a minute ago. I guess she disappeared.
Yeah, I miss her too.
Hey, Vicky, how are you?
I'm doing good.
Good. You look wonderful.
Thank
and
you.
Antoinette, you don't look so bad yourself.
Well, thank you.
I mean,
I'm quiet.
considering all that we've all been through in the last year and a half, we all look pretty good, right?
I don't know. I can't see everybody. It's a blind joke. Everybody's supposed to laugh.
God has provided. He has taken care of all of us, even when it looked bleak, like there was no hope. God always comes through. I have seen so many miracles from the Lord, so many. And it's just, he never fails to surprise me with his miracles. In 2002, I was healed of cancer. My husband laid hands on me and prayed for me, and he felt what felt like a carpet shock, and I felt it as well.
Praise God.
And he said, he says, I think the Lord just healed you. And I said, I think he did too, but I'm going to go ahead and have the surgery anyway. So I had the surgery 3 weeks later, went back to see the surgeon 6 weeks later, and he walked in the room and said, whoa, what happened here? You didn't have cancer. And I was diagnosed 3 times before they told me I had cancer.
Wow.
So, so I know that God still heals.
Amen.
And it's, and then I got it again in 2012. But that time I had to have chemotherapy and radiation, and I'm still here.
Yep.
He's left me here to enjoy my time with my family and my friends.
So glad he has.
So has anybody else here had a miracle lately?
Mine was 2008. I was saved from what should have been a fatal car accident.
Really?
Yeah, I was in a coma for 3 weeks. I had a trach, broken ribs, chest tubes in each lung.
Oh my God.
Fractured pelvis, hairline fractures, and then splinter fracture in my lower lumbar, broken ankle, broken collarbone, disc got a place in my neck, had a feeding tube, and had 4 catheters until they realized that the seat belt, when it come across and shattered my pelvis, it also ruptured my bladder.
Oh my goodness.
So I had to have bladder repair surgery.
Oh dear.
So it's only by his grace I'm here.
Yeah, you know, we can have the best doctors. God can give us the best doctors, but he's got to guide those doctors, and that's what a lot of people miss.
Well, my ortho doctor is a believer, and I am thankful. And I show him Stryper videos when I've gone to visit him, and he'll just like, yeah, you're rocking it out. And so that's why I claim Isaiah 53:5, and that's why I got the tattoo. So I claim it.
I know that God has been watching over Oz as far as his surgical teams go. He's had very good doctors, and that's been a difficult thing, a real difficult thing. A lot of people don't know it, but Ozzy Ozzy and Annie got COVID-19 when he was scheduled for the first surgery, and it had to be postponed because they got that and they were sick with it, and the doctors wanted them to recuperate and for Ozzy's immune system to get a little stronger. But he finally had that first surgery, so now we have to pray for the second one. It looks like he's recuperating quickly. They told him he would be in the hospital for a week, and he came home after 5 days. But they have to stay in that area to be close to his doctors. They don't live there, so they're in a hotel, but they need to stay there to be close to his doctors in case if there's something that goes awry, then they're right there. But did you guys know that he played guitar 3 hours during that surgery?
Yeah.
Did you know that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a very long surgery, but they let him come awake and play guitar during that surgery, so that way they could tell if they were causing any nerve damage.
I think I've heard about something like that.
Recorded it.
Huh?
Annie said that they recorded it. So
Yeah,
I wonder
they
if
did.
they gave her. I wonder if they gave Annie a recording of him playing and talking.
Yeah, I heard the music was phenomenal.
Wow.
I think I've heard about something like that.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's called an acoustic, I forget what they call it. Well, that's the name of the tumor. The one they have to take out on the back is called an acoustic neuroma or something like that.
Yes.
See, Ozzy thought years ago when he started having trouble with that tumor that they just removed, it was above his ear. He thought that he blew his eardrum out because all at once he couldn't hear out of that ear.
Wow.
So I think some good stuff is going to come from this surgery. I think he's going to get his hearing back in that ear.
Doesn't Ozzy's family still live in Whittier?
A lot of them do. His mother and I think his sister Angela lives there.
They couldn't stay there instead of a hotel?
Does he what, honey?
I say he couldn't stay there with his family, with his mom or something instead of, that's not far from UCLA.
No, honey, they don't want to drive that, especially with him. And the doctors don't want him to be that far away either. They don't want him to be, they want him to be nearby. So, so they've had to kind of live out of a suitcase. I don't know how long they're going to have to do that when they take that tumor out in the back. I have no idea.
Hey, for those who haven't spoken yet and want to, if you want to go ahead and raise your hand so we can notice you, so we can make sure everybody gets a chance. I don't want to miss anybody. So I will try to keep up with that. So if anybody else wants to jump in, go ahead, but I'm going to go check out hand raising.
Hey, Mom, I got a question for Mom.
Okay.
I had a comment earlier, but I have a question. I don't know if I've asked you this before. I don't think I have, but the time that you managed the guys that, 6 or 7 years or whatever that was, what's the one thing that really sticks out to you? The one thing that just really sticks out to you that makes you happy or proud or life-changing or whatever? What's one big thing that really sticks out to you?
Well, one thing that really made me proud is when they crossed over and they charted at number 20 with Honestly. That made me really proud because I know that God opened that door for that to happen so that Stryper could go and play with non-Christian bands. See, most Christian bands usually play with other Christian bands, but Stryper has kind of forged a path for them to play with non-Christian bands. But but yet they've kind of been hindered in a way because they've always had to headline their own tours. They had the secular, those are bands that don't have Christians in them. They're just bands like Motley Crue, Poison, Rat, whatever. Those bands, they've never wanted Stryper to go on tour with them. So Stryper's always been forced to headline their own tours, and it always costs more money to headline your own tours than to be an opener. An opening band just goes out, they play for 20, 25 minutes, they get off the stage, they get in the little van or but they don't need a big crew, they go down to the next gig. Stryper's always had to take big production. It's not near as big now as it used to be, but them having to headline their own tours has kind of hindered them in a way. It's kind of held them back. But yet they've had other wonderful opportunities where God has opened the door for them, and they've walked through that door, and they've been able to do it. God is a great publicist. He's done all kinds of miracles for them as far as publicity goes. And that's another thing I'm proud of, is seeing that. There's been times when we didn't expect it, that something would happen, God would do some kind of miracle, and there it was.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody expected it to be like that, but it was like that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's another thing I'm really proud of. And I'm proud of the fact that that these guys, that even though they've been through a lot, and don't think they haven't been through a lot, because they have. It's been like this. But we all of our lives are like that, right? No matter what you do, no matter what your job is, no matter where you live, all of our lives are up and down, up and down, up and down. That's what they've been through. Mm-hmm. But they can't let the fans know all that, because that's not what the fans want to hear. The fans want to hear about the good stuff, the good stuff, the good stuff. They don't want to hear about the bad stuff, you know? And I don't blame them. If I was a fan, and I am, but if I was just a fan, I wouldn't want to hear about bad stuff. You know, you want to hear the good stuff. So anyway.
All right, Matt, you're up next, buddy.
Okay. Where's Matt at?
Hi, Janice. I'm in Iowa, Cedar Rapids, Iowa. Got a question, kind of a little story to tell with a question. A few years ago, I did a mentoring session with Rihanna's A&R representatives for my band project. The guy that put it together, he was sitting on the panel, and later on, he told me he didn't even want to say anything about the event to me because he didn't want me to go to it for whatever reason.
Yeah, well, what was that? Did you find out?
Huh?
Oh, never mind. Go ahead, honey.
Okay. Well, after my session, I guess the A&R reps really loved what I was doing. After the session, he comes up to me and said, you know, you said now for several years you'd like to find management for what you guys are doing. And he goes, I would like to manage you guys. And so I set up an appointment with him one night to have a meeting to see, you know, things will work out.
Yeah.
And we're going to meet at a grocery store here in Iowa called Hy-Vee. I don't know if you've heard of Hy-Vee or not, but
no.
He was late. He was always running late. He had me sit there and wait an hour and a half for him. So needless to say, no, he's not going to manage us. But anyways, I wanted to ask, I would like to submit my stuff for like movies and, you know, soundtrack work, that type of thing, and just licensing deals and stuff as well.
What kind of music is it?
It's like a lyrical project, kind of a gothic type thing, but there's Christian themes in it as well. So Rihanna's A&R rep said it would be a good fit for like soundtrack work and commercials and that type of thing as well, for like licensing and stuff.
Yeah.
And one of the reps said that I could even submit it to museums to have it played in museums, which that shocked me. But my question is I would like to have management help me with stuff like that, because it's a big process and all this, and just the business aspect of it.
Yeah.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how important is it that I should have management, or should I do it myself?
Well, if you have a lot of goals yourself, you should do it yourself until you're unable to do it anymore.
Okay.
But you should know which direction you want to go and what you want to do to promote your music. The best thing would be, in my opinion, would be to find out, and this is very difficult, what studios have movies that they're going to film that your music would fit into.
Okay. And my second question on that is, there's like publishing companies like ASCAP and BMI, and there's a third one, I forget what it's called. Which one of those three would be the best one to sign with, and why?
Well, I like BMI. We've
Okay.
always been BMI. Even my husband and I were BMI years before Stryper. We had our own publishing company. And
Okay.
but the purpose of signing with them is for the songwriter to be paid performance fees.
Okay.
In other words, every time your song is played on the radio or on television, or you go to Europe and you perform a set of your songs, you have monies that come from that.
Okay.
But if you don't have any songs that are released on CD where somebody's going to play them, you don't have anything to put on the paperwork to submit to BMI now. But what you should do is form a publishing company. Come up with a name. You have to submit like 5 or 6 names. They'll tell you which ones are available. That way, if an opportunity ever comes up for you for your music, you have a publishing company, because it takes 30 to 45 days for them to approve the name. And sometimes you need the name to put on the product right then and there.
Right,
It's going to come up quick. And so if you have that publishing company in advance, you're going to have a chance to get some of the publishing from a song that you wrote. But you're going to run into a lot of crooks too, so be real careful. Okay.
Right.
They're out there.
Okay. Well, thank you so much.
They make me sick.
Yeah.
If you have a great song and they know somebody that wants to record it, they want 50% of it, of the songwriting. And then they want the publishing. And the publishing is a lot of money. It's a lot of money.
I know, like several years ago when I first started writing and stuff, I submitted some lyrics to a couple places that ended up being basically the same company, and paid like $200, and the recording was kind of shoddy and not all that great.
That's a racket.
Yeah.
What did they do a demo?
Well, pretty much, I just sent them a piece that I wrote, and they said they'd put music to it and, have somebody sing it. And that's just pretty much, it was just kind of low quality, and it was a racket, basically. I learned.
Yeah, they used to have these companies for $500. We'll record you on a single and give us your money, and we'll put it out. And they press up maybe 100 copies, and who's going to hear it with 100 copies? I mean,
well, we've got
if they even send them all out,
Right.
So
well, we've got our stuff basically recorded. We have to have it mixed and mastered. And I I met a guy, I played a show a few years ago, and he was running sound. He loved what we were doing. And normally for a guy to, mix and master something like what we do, I totaled it up, and lowest cost would be about maybe $2 or $3 grand. He offered to do 20 tracks for us for $20 because he loved what we were doing. So we just got to find a time to get together, get it recorded, and make
the
some
big deal
CDs.
is now they put these ads in the music magazines, and they say, send us your lyrics, blah, blah, blah. And what they do is they steal your lyrics.
Oh, okay.
A lot of these publishing companies have in-house writers that are engaged just to write around your songs and steal your ideas in a way where they can get by with it without being sued.
Yeah, that's too bad. I mean,
but when my husband co-wrote a #1 country and western song, him and I had 2 #1s stolen from us. They're out there. But you have to prove it. You have to prove the whereabouts of the writer at the time your song was stolen, when they claimed that they wrote it. You have to prove all those things in a court of law. And if you don't get an attorney that's a fighter that will fight for you, then you're in trouble.
right,
Some attorneys are fighters and some are not.
right. Well, speaking of attorneys and that, I look at several years ago, Toho, which they're the ones that created Godzilla. They sued Subway, the restaurant,
Yeah.
because when Subway first started doing the $5 footlong commercials, they had like a giant monster-like thing, and Toho said, "Oh, that looks too much like Godzilla. We're gonna sue Subway." They only got like $50,000 out of the lawsuit, but Subway had to drop the commercial, and so. But there's lawyers that will fight, and then there's other lawyers that just, of course, blow it off. It's sad that the artists get screwed like that. And, I ended up finding the ad and that I submitted myself to in the back of a magazine called Writer's Digest. So, and looking back, what I had written.
Some of you haven't asked any questions. Like, Patrick, are you muted? Antoinette, are you muted?
I just unmuted myself.
Michelle, are you muted? Yeah. Yeah.
I've been muting those who aren't talking, so there's no feedback. So if you
David is muted.
I'm not muted no more.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. And Sherry, she's muted. And Nancy is muted. Wow.
They're just sitting back enjoying the show, Janice.
Yeah, I'm working and listening, so it's wonderful to be here and see you.
I could never imagine what
I was doing some drawing.
Oh, Sherry's drawing.
Yeah, I was doing some drawing.
I think
Actually
Sherry's
trying to draw
drawing
you.
Sherry's
Yeah.
drawing you, Janice.
Yeah, let me tell you, Janice, Sherry came to the show with, I forgot, was it Kirk Henderson, Sherry?
With John Branyan.
John Branyan. Okay, that's right. And the next thing I know, my wife is getting an email with, a lot of times I will use my logo, which is fire sunglasses that has fire in it because my nickname's the Blind Fury. And my wife gets a picture in email from Sherry of me doing the show with the fire sunglasses. So all I can say is be ready because it's fantastic.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So you'll get yourself one. I'm pretty sure that's what she's up to.
I love to draw.
She's very good. I put it under my special equipment to see it. And I was like, daggone, that looks just like the picture.
Yeah.
Hey, oh,
Wow.
there comes Dave. Dave's in.
Hi, Janice.
Hi. Wait, where's Dave? Where are
I'm
you
in-
at? Oh, there you are.
Yeah, you said something about, you were talking about miracles, and I just wanted to share that I'm a witness to a miracle. My son was born with half a heart. And
Oh
so
my goodness.
We've had 3 open heart surgeries and a stroke, but you know, he just be 16 this year, so I'm
Oh,
definitely a witness.
oh yeah. Oh yeah, God still does miracles. What
Absolutely.
we don't understand is why some people are healed and some people are not.
Right,
That's a difficult thing.
right.
But
God's in control either way.
yeah, yeah. But I don't know why. I don't understand that. But some things are a mystery. God, and we're never going to know until we see the Lord face to face. We're never going to know that.
Right.
Probably. I mean, unless if he reveals it to somebody and we find out. But God is good. He's faithful. He's merciful. Ask him. You know, if you got physical problems, ask him to heal you and to take that problem away from you. I do know that some illnesses are put upon us by the evil one, but we have to get through that. We have to learn what we can learn about how to deal with it and try to get better. You know,
Well,
try to.
it could be our testimony as well.
Yes, it could be. It could be. I felt really bad for Kyle when she passed away because her and Michael appeared on TBN and she said that the Lord healed her, but she said that night when she stepped down off the stage, she felt that she lost her healing. And that was all she said about it. She never said why or why she thought that or why she felt that, but I wish she had been healed, but I guess it was her time to go. You know, maybe she's looking over her grandbabies now or something. I'm sure God has a job for her.
Well, I will say I'm a survivor of 3 brain diseases all at the same time with no immune system.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a pretty miraculous situation because
it is. It is.
Yeah, I had cerebral histoplasmosis, meningitis, and encephalitis at the same time with no immune system. And they said I could lose my motor skills. I still play drums and chase my wife and tackle her. And I also, they also said I could come out of the hospital with the pressure on my brain with the mentality of a 12-year-old. My whole family got excited, thought it was an upgrade. I don't know how to take that, but it's just a really bad joke. You just have to follow along.
Oh yeah.
But you know, and then 9 years after that, I became a widower, and obviously God blessed me because you guys see my wife on here a few times.
Yes, you did.
So I've been blessed and restored, and it's just awesome how God works.
Oh yeah, he does things that behind the scenes a lot of time that we don't even find out until it's hit us in the face.
Yep. That's why it's important to follow the word.
That's right.
Yep.
Like with my kids, I have a rare blood, Rh factor negative type A. It's a rare blood. And when you have that blood, your body tends to reject the fetus, depending on the blood type of the father. And the fact that all of my kids are here, they're all alive, and they're doing well. That's another miracle, really, for me, because when I was pregnant with Robert, I had to go to bed at 6 months and stay there. The doctor said that if I got up to go to the bathroom, I was going to have a miscarriage. So I had to stay in bed for bathing, washing my hair. My mom took care of me. And God bless my mom for everything that she did for me during those days. And Robert was her first grandchild, and she always wanted a son. She never had one, but that was her son to her.
Yeah.
But not really.
Well, I have a funny Robert Sweet story. It has nothing to do with him in person. It was the band I was in. It was fairly successful, and we played a show in Indianapolis. and I did a drum solo on a whim. It wasn't planned, but the kids at the show were screaming for a drum solo, so I did it. And after the show, this kid approaches me and he says, "Man, John, that's the best drum solo I've ever seen except for one." I said, who beat me out? He said, Robert Sweet. I was like, I'm going to quit listening to Stryper forever.
Oh my goodness.
I didn't say that, but so tell your son, thanks a lot for that.
Well, he kind of made it personal, you know. Hey, I'm over at Clear Blue Sky Recording Studios, which is owned by Bill and Maria Mention.
Mm-hmm.
And I have five CDs here that Maria wants to give away that are recorded by Bill, and Robert has played some of them. And would anybody here like to have one? We're going to give them away for free.
Definitely.
Okay, I see Holly. I see Marcia. And who else was it that I saw? Oh, Scott. And David Moore. Are you guys all on my messenger?
Yes, definitely.
Yes. Okay. And who else? Vicky. What I need you guys to do is go to my messenger on Facebook and send me your addresses. And Maria will mail all of you guys a free CD.
Woohoo! That's awesome.
Yay!
Yay! I think it's a good deal.
Thank you, Maria.
Thank you, Maria.
Thank you.
Here she is.
Awesome.
Can you guys see her?
Yeah,
you can.
Yeah, you can have one of those. We will be happy that you have, especially the blessing to know and to hear Robert Sweet playing. This is the studio. This is the room where he used to play at least for 4 years.
Yeah.
This used to be his studio.
This is the room next to the studio. The studio's over there.
And this was the place where the drums were here ready for him playing. And he is a great friend, an amazing musician, and he's a healer. One of the things that I noticed since I became his little sister is that he has the power of healing. When he talks to you as a friend, but as a soulmate. He's in your soul, in your heart. Because as a Christian, our heart is going to define where we want to go, up or down. If you don't have a good heart, there is no way that you can enter the kingdom of God.
Right on.
Your heart, your good intentions, your mercy, your righteousness, the power of your healing. And Robert, teach me how to be a better woman, wife, and friend. A friend never abandon a friend.
Amen, sister.
Our friends forever, if there are really friends.
Robert has always had a really soft heart.
Yes.
A soft heart. Yes. And he kind of reminds me of my dad because he's very soft spoken. My father was like that. But my father didn't live very long. He passed away when he was 34. But Robert and Michael both, Robert reminds me of my father in personality, and Michael reminds me of my father in looks. They kind of look alike. Mm-hmm. So it's a combination of Phil and my father.
That's awesome.
Phil is my husband. So
we actually just had somebody enter the room, Janice, and I think it was an Eric. I don't know if that was somebody that was in here before, but Eric, if you're new to the room and you want to say something to Janice.
I don't see him anywhere.
I just
I see. He's
see the name
to audio. Yeah.
Yeah.
I see him there.
Yeah.
I wonder Eric who? I wonder if that's the one that Facebook blocked for 30 days. My Lord.
I love Facebook.
My poor daughter has been blocked so many times by Facebook. And every time it's 30 days. You know?
Horrible. Well, Eric may not have a ability to talk, but if you wanted to say something, Eric.
Eric, are you there? Are you
this
there?
is a troublemaker. That's why she
Connecting
gets
to
banned.
audio.
Yeah, he must be having trouble connecting. So
join the club, honey.
No, that's the troublemaker.
Technology is not always our friend. So
no,
but no. Praise God, we got it worked out, Janice.
Oh yeah, thank the Lord. Well, some people that are in this room have not said one word.
Yeah.
I don't think my audio is working. Is my audio working?
Yes, it is.
Oh, okay. Here I am.
Yeah.
John, I just wanted to let you know that I also had I had chickenpox, pneumonia, and meningitis all at the same time.
Dang.
When I was
That reminds me of me.
about 20 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm here. You know, I have a lot of residual illnesses, but I'm here. You know, thank God.
Yeah, you are.
That meningitis is no joke, and I don't know.
Yeah, it left me with a herniated brainstem.
Mm-hmm.
I have something called Chiari malformation, and
But
it causes me to
normal.
pass out. And
You seem to be normal in your brain.
Well,
Does it affect your brain like that when you have a?
No, it's just it affects like sometimes my speech and like my ability to stand sometimes. That's why I have my wheelchair. When you see me at shows with a wheelchair, I'm the girl in the wheelchair all the time.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, I know for me, I don't know if everybody knows what encephalitis is, but that's your brain actually swelling, which is what my brain was doing. But meningitis is the lining of the brain squeezing the brain. So I had the opposite effects going on at the same time. And as she just stated, meningitis is no joke.
No,
so
it's
for me to survive both with no immune system, I mean, I don't know how else you explain it other than a miracle, especially with, no motor law skills or anything. So I lost my vision and that's it. And I wrote a book about it. So
yeah, well, I have cerebral palsy that I was born with.
Mhm.
So my neurologist feels that combination kind of, caused a lot of the problems that I have now. But Janice, I wanted to tell you that, and I know you know this, the guys are always, every time I go to a show, they always pray over me and I'm always invited backstage. And
They remember you from the first time they saw you.
Yeah. Oh, the first time, well, I used to be a photographer in the entertainment
I
business.
know.
So they were actually the first national band to give me access. So we go way back. We go back to 1986.
I know. I remember the phone call.
Yeah, yeah.
Because
Yeah,
back then I couldn't take a lot of phone calls. I mean, I could take a few, that were non-business related, or if I didn't even know if they were going to be business related, But yeah, I still remember our phone conversation.
Oh, wow.
And you telling me that you were just trying to get started in concert photography?
Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah,
And
I
how
went
many
on to
years
work.
has that been?
Well, I went on to probably 1986.
Yeah.
Because I started out locally at my local clubs.
34 years.
Yeah. And I have pictures with the guys almost every tour, as a photographer backstage with them. And, it's been a wild ride.
Oh yeah.
In fact, even back in 2016, even though I'm technically out of the business, Lisa set up for me. She set up a photo pass for me.
Yeah.
And
Lisa,
then of course
Michael's wife, right?
No, Lisa.
Lisa Caron,
yeah,
my
Lisa,
daughter.
yeah.
Well, now that we got two Lisas, we have to get
Yeah. In fact, when just real fast, when I one of the shows, I forget, it was one of the shows that was right after one of my hospitalizations with heart failure. and that was in 2016, I believe. And they all, they prayed over me actually on the tour bus that time. And it's just something I'll just always cherish and never forget, and always be grateful for.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And I was going to say just a second ago, as we keep going here, and Janice, you can let us know how much longer you have. We don't want to take you all night, but
well, what time is it?
It is
almost 10 o'clock.
Here it's almost 10 o'clock. So it's about almost 7 your time, or almost 8 your time. No,
we can
7.
go a little bit longer.
Okay. But yeah, I lost my vision. And then everybody I see, when I introduce them to my wife, they're like, are you sure she's not the one that's legally blind?
He's silly. He always says that.
I think it's good that you help him, that you're his helpmate, and
try
his endeavors here, and because every man, let's face it, they're lost without a woman.
You got it. I'm going to agree with that 1,000,000,000%. I do marriage ministry. I'm telling you, I believe in it.
Well, ever since Eve, the woman has had to point out the direction for the man to go.
Mm-hmm. Are we going to start back and forth now? Because I'm ready.
Oh no! Don't get him started.
It's fine.
Do what?
Does anybody have? Hey, Shell, you got any questions?
I do.
What is it?
Well, I wanted to know if over all these decades, I was there in '83. At a benefit concert, and I met the guys, I met you, and that's how I know who y'all are. But how many other people from their youth has come forward and accepted the Lord through a Stryper concert? Because I was fortunate to have that.
Oh, Michelle, the numbers are,
they're just out there, huh?
Infinite. I mean, I have no idea, because everywhere I've been, if I was around the band, I've heard from people that got saved through Stryper.
Well, I know even at this was a big warehouse back in '83, and it was before the first album was ever really out. There was a single, the Shout at the Devil, or the To Hell with the Devil.
There's two versions of the Yellow and Black Attack. Actually, there's more than two, but the first two, the one that precedes the second one, the first one has a list of a lot of people on back of it. That one is really collectible because there weren't many copies pressed of that.
Oh, really? Okay, I'll look for that.
Because the list of people were people that donated to the recording. Okay. Now they signed with Enigma. Enigma didn't want that on the first album.
Right.
So they redid the back of it. They used the front of it and they just took that list of names off of the back and put other stuff on there. And I think that one was done in various runs, but that first one was done in a run of 10,000.
Yeah.
And they came out with the globe ones.
Yeah.
The colored disc, the blue, the yellow.
Right,
but
right.
The first one is the most collectible. So are you going to send me one, Michelle?
Send you one. You got to have one of those, don't you?
I had one and I sold it, but I think I sold it to somebody that lives in Oregon.
Oh.
But I'm not sure.
You didn't sell it to me.
I didn't sell it to you? Somebody talked me out of it.
And the album, the first album?
Yeah, somebody twisted my arm. I thought it was you.
No, it wasn't me.
It was.
I might have got something from you, but it wasn't that.
Okay.
See, I was there in '83 when it was It was just a single that was released, and it was at Warehouse Ministries in Sacramento.
In Sacramento?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I was born in 83.
Yep. And so anyway, I haven't missed a show since.
Yeah.
So, you know, but I love you. I know I can.
And I was there.
Yes, you were.
The following year, I wasn't there for those dates in Northern California because I fell on icy snow in Flagstaff and fractured my leg and ankle. And I had to go through what Stephanie's going through right now.
Oh my goodness. Well, yeah,
That taught me patience.
You were there.
Ma.
That's what God's teaching you right now, Stephanie, is patience. Because anything that I could do in 2 minutes, once I was in that wheelchair for 3 months, it took me like 5 or 6 minutes. I got so frustrated, I didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
Did you just say that the first album was the most collectible, the one with the list on it?
The first album, Yellow and Black Attack, with the list of people on the back of the LP, that's the most collectible.
I have that one.
I had one that was signed by all 4 band members.
Mine signed, and actually Robert, because we used to call him Bob, actually signed it Bob.
Uh-huh.
He signed it Bob because my name is in that list.
That's kind of different. He usually doesn't do that.
Nope. He signed it Bob Sweet. Because, you know, we used to, back in the day, it was Bobo. And yeah, he signed it Bob Sweet. And my name is actually in that list. So I have that copy.
Good. Well, back in those days, everybody called him Bob. I still call him Bob.
Yeah.
I'll call him, how you doing, Bob?
Yeah. Yeah. I still have the original.
We call him Robert. You know.
Yeah, but when I first met back in '79, and he wrote your guys' phone number down for me. He actually wrote Bob Sweet with 2 B's.
Yeah, BOBB.
Yeah.
And now where did you get that at? Gazzari's or where?
The album?
No, that when he wrote his name down for you, be in 19.
No, not Gazzari's. Not Gazzari's. In the garage.
Okay. Did you ever go to any of the Gazzari gigs?
I was there every weekend. Every weekend with Paula and Eric. Paula and Eric, I rode with them.
You know how many times they played that place?
A lot. Almost every weekend. It
was 30 some odd times.
I have a poster.
And the last time they played there, Bill Gazzari says, "You guys have played here enough." He says, "Go and be famous. You're ready. It's breaking for you. You're building a big following. You got a record deal. I'll get some other guys to come in here and draw a crowd. You guys go and be famous."
Yeah. Because I have a Gazzari's poster that says Bill Gazzari presents Rat, LA Rocks, and Rocks Regime.
Is it orange?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, it's collectible. Very collectible.
I have that. And it's signed by all of them, and it's signed by Rat.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a real good one. Well, Rat tried to induce Robert to come and be their drummer.
Really?
One time when they were playing for them, and they played with them a few times.
Yeah, at Gazzari's.
They were playing at Gazzari's, and Stephen talked to Robert about being their drummer, and Robert says, "Well, that's really nice of you to ask, but I think I'll stay with my brother."
That's awesome. I did not
remember
know that.
Well, that's what happened.
That was back in the 80s.
I can tell you guys stuff.
I don't mean to interrupt you, Mama, but I remember that because I was on tour with Rat, see, and then I knew they were going to try to get Robert. I knew they were going to, because Stephen Piercy, he said, "We got to get Robert Sweet on them drums." So yeah, I guess you were absolutely right.
Robert just felt like he needed to stay with Michael. He said,
Right.
See, Robert had been in other bands and played around a lot before him and Michael actually started working together. And once they did, they found that one compensated what the other one didn't have. One compensated for the other one. They had different qualities, you know, and in those days, Robert was more the leader of the band and made all the decisions because Michael wasn't even yet. And then when he was kind of immature.
He was with Carolyn.
Michael liked to do a lot of bad things.
He spent a lot of time. He spent a lot of time with Carolyn Ward.
That what?
He was with Carolyn Ward at the time, and they were always doing.
Oh, all the time.
I remember Carolyn and him. Yep, I remember a lot of things.
Carolyn was he was Michael's premier girlfriend.
Yes.
Her father was the mayor of Fullerton.
Fullerton, yes.
And her and her sister were adopted. And once she got that job, she got a job working. I forget what she was doing, but it was something underwater out by Catalina Island. And it had something to do with the ferries. And it was some kind of underwater tank or something. But her and Michael kind of grew apart. And they started gigging more, and then he started dating other women and she started dating other men. And one time when we lived in Fullerton, Phil and I went out to dinner to this place called the Del Rey. We'd never been there before. And who was the hostess but Carolyn Ward?
What?
She was the hostess at the Del Rey in Fullerton. And I got in a long conversation with her. And by then, Michael was married to
Kyle.
He was married to Kyle, and they didn't live very far away. And he said, "Mom, don't tell Kyle where Carolyn works."
Carolyn.
He said, "I'll get in trouble."
All right, John. John has something he wants to show, but I'm not sure how to get it in this. He said for me to get out the way.
This, I hope, is a collectible.
Get out the way.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow. What is that, John?
That is live in Japan.
What?
Well, that looks like a bootleg thing, John.
This actually, the guy that gave this to me.
Was it a special made thing or like a one of a kind?
Well, do you recognize the name Doug Lucas by chance? He somehow was connected with Robert at some point. I can't remember the story. Doug passed away, but he had a ton of, I've got all kinds of vinyls that Doug gave me along with this. And so I think somehow he was connected. I do not remember the story.
Well, when you say he passed away, what did he die from?
Cancer.
Would he be the guy that they went to see in the hospital?
I don't know if they did. I didn't see Doug until his very last days. He drove a bus. And matter of fact, he managed Bride for a little bit. And of course, I know the guy.
Was he white or black?
He was a white guy.
Okay.
And yeah, he managed Bride for a little while. And I know those guys, they live right up the street, basically about 30 miles from here. Well, not anymore, but they did at the time. And so he was connected with Bride, and that may be how he met Robert and was around them a little bit. But anyway, he gave this to me as well as a whole bunch of vinyls. So I thought
that's wonderful.
Yeah, it just hit me that I had that. Thought I'd show it to you.
I seem to remember Robert going to the hospital and visiting some guy that was dying.
Do you remember what state that was?
It was early on. It was probably 84, 85, because Guido had given the guys in the band these he had 4 jackets made for them that were special, yellow and black.
Mm-hmm.
with their names on them in the front. And Robert went to the hospital to visit this guy. And this guy told Robert, he says, "I'm dying." And Robert took his jacket off and gave it to him. And the guy said he wanted to be buried in it.
Wow.
Wow.
Well,
And
this guy
it
didn't
seemed to
pass
me
away.
like his name, like his name, like I heard Doug or something. I'm not sure.
Well,
This
he
goes
did.
way back.
Yeah, he passed away like it was probably 2010, 11-ish.
Oh no, it wasn't him.
So it was
then.
long after that, yeah. But yeah,
This
Doug
was
had a
probably
lot of Stryper stuff.
84. It was probably 84
Yeah.
or early 85.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna get back to my spot. I thought I'd show that to you. That was pretty cool.
Now you're going to send that to me, right?
I got.
We'll drive it to Vegas.
That
We'll bring it to
doesn't
Vegas.
say live in Japan on it, does it?
It says
Or
it in
is that what's
Japanese.
down there?
Yeah, it says it in
Japanese.
Japanese. It's been sitting in the basement. I need to clean it up, it looks like.
Yeah, I mean, you have connections, don't you? You could probably come up with something.
I'm sure that I could.
I don't know why, but that reminds me of the group Kiss.
And my daughter bought me a "To Hell with the Devil" Stryper limited edition CD from Europe or something for Christmas. So,
I didn't know you were such a big fan, John.
oh, Janice, let me tell you what. Okay, I've got a hilarious story.
Okay, they can't see your face.
Okay, can you see me?
I
There
can
you
see part of you.
There you
This,
go.
let me go in my office and get my stuff back together. I have one of the funniest stories about Stryper, about my fandom. That it's just funny to me. You guys might not think it's funny. I think it's hysterical. Let me go in my office so I can do this better.
Yeah, get out of my area.
Oh, there's a door there.
He just ran into the door. He makes me sit in the other room. Oh, we have somebody waiting in the room to come in. Oh my goodness.
Who is that?
Paul Anderson is in the waiting room. Do you know him?
Maybe. Honestly, I don't know. Where's he at? Where's he
Hold on,
coming?
I'm letting him. Oh, wait a minute. I don't know where he went. He disappeared.
The thing
My
is,
husband just ran into the wall, guys. That's hilarious.
I know all of these people, and you know what my husband says to me? I'll tell him a story about somebody, and he'll say, "Where do they live?" And I'll
Okay.
say, "I don't know."
Just
You
know
know,
him.
how am I going to remember where everybody lives?
No.
He says, "Well, it seems to me if they're friends of yours, that you ought to know where they live."
Okay, so
I don't know, you know.
Oh,
So-
all right, John. What's
So
your
here's my story. Now, first, I'll tell you, you didn't know I was such a big Stryper fan. I had the door poster. I had my walls covered. It was ridiculous. Well, I had the Stryper Yellow and Black Attack t-shirt, and they were on the To Hell with the Devil tour, and they were playing in Cincinnati. Well, I was attending Morehead State University, which was about an hour or so away.
Yeah.
So a friend of mine, we decided to go up there. Now, at this time, I had my ear pierced. You remember the days where one earring was cool? So we go to
Stryper
Cincinnati.
had one earring
Huh?
that they sold. They had one earring that they sold for a while. It was a
Okay.
cross.
Well, okay. Well, I had a cross in my left ear, a Stryper t-shirt. I had crosses dangling off my belt loop. And I go into the store 1 block from the arena. And this guy asked me the most beautiful question ever. You gonna go see Stryper? I wish I could have thought faster. I would have said, "Oh, they're playing?" You know, just kind of being silly. So I told my friend, let's go ahead and get up there so we can go see the show. Well, we saw a parking lot in the left lane and needed to go to the right lane. And I can't remember the scenario, but the guy that I was with caused an accident, but he wasn't the one that caused it. So there's my Stryper story in Cincinnati, Ohio. I got asked if I was going to go see Stryper, and I am decked out. I could play every song on the drums. I just wore it out.
He had vision then, so.
I did have
You
it.
were a drummer, huh?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. As a
You
matter
still
of
play
fact,
the drums?
I do. And I started a drum cover playlist on my YouTube channel, but as soon as I loaded up my first one, I got notices that I'm infringing on copyright and all that. I'm like, well, I don't want to do that. So I've been waiting. And a friend of mine from church is like, dude, you got to do Makes Me Want to Sing by Stryper. That's got to be your next one. And he's been asking me about it. When are you going to load it? I'm like, well, I need to make sure I don't get in trouble. But So, yeah.
I got
He likes Stryper a little bit, I think.
Does anybody here have a real interesting story they want to tell?
no, I don't, but I just got done with the drawing here.
I know, I
You can
can't
see
see
it.
Oh, wow. Look at
Oh,
that.
you've been doing that?
Yes.
Look at that.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
Sherry's talented. That
Thank
is
you.
awesome.
My goodness. Thank you. That's nice.
You're welcome.
That's nice.
Well, Janice, I did meet Michael in Nashville. And this is kind of a funny story because I had officiated an artist versus industry football game. Des Dickerson and Doug Van Pelt and, you know, all Jim Laverde from Barron Cross, all those guys were there. I was hanging out with all of them. Not a big deal, but I had followed Stryper so close. Well, I had a connection at the radio station that said, don't tell anybody. Michael Sweet will be here doing an interview if you want to come and meet him. So I showed up, but they had the door locked. I couldn't get in. So and this thing is in an office building and I'm standing by the elevator and I was in the merchandising industry at the time. So I made a bunch of stuff on a solo record and I'm standing there and he comes out of the radio station with his manager who used to manage a cappella. And I had talked to him before. Can't remember his name, but I'm not a starstruck guy because I've been around so many. Like I said, Bright, I've known those guys for years and all that. He walked out and I literally went like, oh my gosh, there he is. You know, a guy that I had followed all these years. And I said, can I talk to you for a second? And he came over to me and I pulled out all of the hats that I made specially for his band. And I put all their names on the side of it. So I saw him a couple of days later at the hotel during GMA week. And as he was walking close, he was walking toward me and we were about a good 20 feet away. And he yells out in the lobby, hey, there's the hat guy. I was like, there's my claim to fame, the Stryper. So just so now that I know you, it's different, but you know.
Mike has a real outgoing, funny personality.
Yes, he does.
You know, and a lot of people remember him for that.
Yep. So
well, what time is it now?
Almost 10:15.
Yep. So 7
right where you guys are.
For us, yes.
Yes.
Sorry.
So it's what 8:15 or 7:15 here?
I think it's, I don't know. Are you on Mountain?
8:15 Central Time.
Okay, you guys want to pray before we leave?
Sure.
That's awesome. Absolutely.
Okay.
Hey, Mom.
Yes.
John shared something that he liked, a photo. Can I share something really quick? I want to see if you recognize it.
What?
Can you hear me?
I can't hear everything you're saying. What are you saying?
John shared a poster a little bit ago. Can I share something? I want to see if you remember it, if you recognize it.
If I recognize it? No.
Yes.
No, I think it's
No. I have something. Look.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
You remember
They
that?
have a few of those. Is that one for To Hell with the Devil? Oh yes. I see that you kept that one.
I did.
That's very collectible.
And I had everybody sign it.
Doesn't make a lot of those. When they make them for the artist, they just make them for the artist and the manager, and maybe a couple of copies for their representatives, and that's it. It's always under 10.
This one was yours.
The band is a real big band, a lot of members.
This one was yours.
Yeah, that's a good one. You should hang on to that.
Oh yeah, I've had it for a number of years. Anyway.
Or you should send it to me.
I knew that was coming.
I'll send
I had
it
a
to
hunch.
myself.
Oh, you guys want to pray?
Absolutely.
Okay, is it okay if I lead and
Yes, ma'am.
or should I assent and let the guy pray? I don't know.
No, you take off.
That's
Okay.
right. You lead.
Okay. Dear Lord, we come before you this evening and we want to thank you and praise you, Lord, for the good fellowship that we've had here. And we know that good things are going to come from it. All positive things are going to come from it. No negative. I ask you, Father, to lay your love on each one of these people and bless them, Father. Heal them. Give them the best, Lord. Whatever they want, the desires of their heart, give it to them, Lord, and keep them safe. And help us all get out of this COVID-19 situation, Lord. And bless all the musicians and all the bands that are out there that need help, that are suffering right now. And bless all the people that need help, Lord. And we ask you, Father, to bring all these people back to another one of these chat situations at another time. And God bless each and every one of them. Thank you, Jesus. In your precious name, amen.
Amen.